The old office building had a reputation. Employees whispered about strange occurrences, but no one dared to say too much. Clara, the newest hire, shrugged off the rumors. She was practical, grounded. Ghost stories didn't faze her. You're right. One night, she stayed late, finishing up a project. By the time she wrapped up, the building was empty, and the silence was heavy. The only sound was the hum of the fluorescent lights above. Clara stepped into the elevator, ready to head home. As the doors slid shut, her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number appeared. "Do not press 7." She frowned. A prank, surely. But before she could delete the message, the elevator shuddered and stopped. A vapory-faced woman plunged out of the elevator. She fumbled desperately for her cell phone. The floor display blinked erratically. She pressed the emergency button, but there was no response. Her heart began to race. Then the elevator resumed moving. On its own. It bypassed her floor and stopped at 7. The doors opened slowly. The hallway beyond was pitch black. Cold air seeped into the elevator, and Clara's stomach tightened. She stayed put, staring into the void. The doors didn't close. Minutes passed. She frantically pressed the button for the lobby, but the elevator wouldn't move. A faint sound broke the silence. Footsteps, slow, deliberate. They echoed from the darkness. Clara froze. Someone, or something, was approaching. She leaned forward, trying to see, but the hallway remained empty. Her phone buzzed again. Another message, "Don't look at them." A pulse pounded in her ears. Who was sending these texts? Panic set in, but curiosity gnawed at her. She glanced up. The hallway was no longer empty. Shadows danced along the walls, taking on distorted, human-like shapes. They moved unnaturally, jerking and twitching. Clara pressed herself against the back of the elevator, her breath shallow. The shadows stopped just short of the elevator doors, lingering at the edge of the light. Clara's phone buzzed a third time. "Close your eyes." She squeezed her eyes shut, her hands trembling. The temperature in the elevator plummeted. She could feel the presence of someone standing right in front of her. The doors finally began to close, but not fast enough. Just before they shut completely, Clara couldn't resist. She opened her eyes. A face stared back at her, pale, expressionless, and uncomfortably close. The elevator plummeted. Clara screamed, clutching the railing as the floor numbers blurred past. When it stopped, the doors opened to the lobby. A shocked Missa stared at the three of them. Everything was normal. People bustled about, chatting and laughing. Clara stumbled out, gasping for air. She looked back at the elevator. It sat still, its doors wide open, inviting her back in. Her permission had come. Her phone buzzed one last time. "You shouldn't have looked." The missive deleted itself before she could react. To this day, Clara refuses to speak of what she saw on the 7th floor. But every night at exactly 7 p.m., she receives the same text. "Don't press 7."